everyone, welcome back to another 2v2 battle. This is going to be the Empire and Chaos versus Bretonnia and the Dwarves in a kind of defensive position, actually. This is the Northern Threat map, I think. It looks pretty cool. It has this beach and then these rocks. It's pretty sweet. Alright, so let's go over the armies real quick. I'm bringing the Pike and Shot idea that I did a little while ago. So that means we have 6 riflemen in 2 rows of 3 covering each other. And then we also have 6 halberdiers spread out amongst the outside. Not a traditional Pike and Shot actual formation, but I just call it that. And then we also have 2 cannons. This is being played, I think, again on the medium settings. We've just been playing a lot of games where people have it on a lower unit count, which is unfortunate, but hey, it happens. We also have a light wizard with only 2 spells. We have the Net of Enmontok, it's the net spell, and then also their magic missile. And then Karl Franz is kind of fully kitted out here, minus 1 skill or maybe 2. So we have the 2 unique skills that he got in the patch, which is the Runefang and Galmoraz, I think. Then we also have his other abilities of the charge resistance, the standard die, then the blood war from his griffin. So he is really expensive but pretty strong. And that is our army. My ally brought Archaon, the Ever-Chosen, an exalted hero, two chosen with halberds, I keep calling Black Knights, Chaos Knights with lances, and a Chaos Warhound with one of these Chaos Spawn as well. So it's a very small elite army over there. The Bretonnian player brought 3 groups of Pegasus Knights. I believe they have 2 mounted yeoman archers. They have multiple spear line here, 2 peasant archers, King Lewin on a horse. They also have 2 Knights of the Realm and 2 field trebuchets, one perched on each one of these hills over here. Then the dwarf player brought 2 longbearers right here, 3 quarrelers with great weapons, 2 organ gunners, a gyrocopter with a brimstone gun. We have a trollhammer iron drake. King Thorgrim himself is over here in the trees. We also have another longbeard here, and then 2 more longbearers with great weapons with Thorgrim. I think that is all of their forces. Yes. So yeah, I wanted to try the Pike and Shot army again. It's a cool idea. I think. I don't know. I don't know. Rifles and halberds. Kind of simple, but just kind of cool. Shows the technology of the Empire. And 2 cannons, because, I don't know, why not? So my cannons over here are immediately, I'm putting them against the organ gun, because it is the thing that I am scared to fight. We are in range of the organ gun at the very start of the match, but I didn't really care too much, to be honest. I'm just going to stay there and focus fire. Meanwhile, over here, Archaon and his mobile force of the Warhounds and the Knights are going to be charging through the forest. I thought they were going for those yeomen, but I guess they're coming out here. Trying to chase these yeomen down, these yeomen archers. Meanwhile, spears are heading that way to try and fend off the Knights. I'm moving my army in position to try and get some shots off on these troops that are going in front of our field of fire. And you can see 1 salvo, and they took a lot of damage there. The Bretonnians are still mobilizing to try and fend off the chaos that are coming through the forest. I believe the rest of the infantry, the rest of the infantry is coming in through the forest as well. And meanwhile, we are still getting some shots down from our riflemen into these spears. The spears are not like a very scary unit, but they're there. So I figured, why not? Let's shoot them. A gyrocopter is going to be sent out, I believe, to try and take out our cannon. So I'm going to respond by moving our Light Wizard and Karl Franz closer to the cannons to threaten them. And we'll get to that in just a bit. Let's watch these chosen march through the forest. So we have, like, some of the most elite infantry in the game against some of the weakest infantry in the game. I'm not saying it's an unfair fight for the chosen in this case. I'm not saying that. Meanwhile, the Knights and the Warhounds with Archaon are just kind of waiting in the forest. I think they're waiting for the Pegasus Knights to engage, I believe. So they're just going to let their chosen fend off right here with the exalted hero. There goes a flaming skull from Archaon into these Bretonnian lines. There's some Knights of the Realm, and the Pegasus Knights are charging in along with the spears to try and take out these chosen. And I forgot. There we go. There we go. Ah, perfect. So there's just a lot of stuff happening here. And then I dropped the net of whatever it's called. Just the net. onto two of these Pegasus Knights groups, multiple spears, and the Peasant Bowmen, who are now being killed by these Chaos Spawn. The Mountain Yeomen are being killed by the Chaos Spawn. The Chosen are going to be tearing into these spears, while Karl Franz is assigned to try and take out these Pegasus Knights. And I'm moving my army up to try and get rifles in position to get some shots on those Knights as well. Over here, we have Chosen with halberds engaging against some of the Pegasus Knights, and I believe Knights of the Realm over here as well, along with Archaon, the Ever-Chosen himself. So Chosen with halberds against Pegasus Knights, and here come some of my halberdiers. That is not what they want to be fighting. These Knights of the Realm are very cheap cav, and against halberdiers, they're going to fall pretty quickly. So trying to get out of there. My net spell just ended, so the Pegasus Knights are now free to fly around, but you can see they have already taken quite a beating from the rifles and everything else that was down here hitting them. Karl Franz is going to go up to try and finish the job as my rifles get more shots into them. Man, Archaon is just so scary going up against the king himself, who is alone over here. No support from his allies, but here comes some Knights to try and save him. But against so many Chosen and Archaon, I don't know if that's going to be enough. There comes the Exalted Hero as well. More Pegasus Knights charging in, trying to save the king. Archaon casting the Fire Cascading Cloak on his troops. We can take a look at the hit points of King Luan Leon Kerr. Oh, wait! He's dead. The king has fallen to the combined arms of Chosen, Archaon, Man-at-Arms, and just everything. Pegasus Knights are trying to get out of there now. It's at this point that the Bretonnian player has been almost completely destroyed. So let's stop here. It's kind of a quick fight, and we'll rewatch it from my perspective. This is kind of the end of the Bretonnian and the Chaos engagement. You can see how well the Chaos did against them. Alright, so here we have those gyrocopters that we mentioned earlier in the video coming around. Karl Franz and the Light Wizard are going to respond. The Field Trebuchets are trying to take out our cannon position here, while we continue to fire upon the organ guns, because I am kind of afraid of those. They are pretty scary. So I'm going to cast the magic missile spell of the Light Wizard onto these gyrocopters. Woo! Woo! The Light Wizard's magic missile spell is just one of the strongest, it's like single target DPS spells out there. The organ gun gets a very nice shot on my cannon position, so they are now going to withdraw. We still have one group of cannons over here as our army is marching to try and help Chaos with the Bretonnians. You'll be seeing the net of Amatok, I think that's what it's called, being dropped here pretty soon. The dwarf line is now marching down from the hill to try and support the Bretonnians that are going to be remaining. Meanwhile, we're just getting some shots with the cannons. I believe we're still firing at the organ gun. I believe. So that is the overcast, so that the net would last longer. And again, dwarves are just moving over, but they are pretty slow. Let's fast forward a little bit, as we already saw this part. That net is, like, I don't hear too much about the net, like people talk, you know, about Devolve, and, well, not anymore, but, you know, they talk about the really damaging spells, but the net is one of the best spells in this game, even though it technically doesn't do any damage. Its supportive capabilities is so strong. So strong. So here we go, the dwarf is now marching towards us. I have a group of halberdiers, halberdiers in front of our riflemen who are kind of stacked back all the way into this forest. We have more halberdiers back here as well. The spearmen coming in to try and engage against our halberdiers, as the rest of the Bretonnians are going to be dealt with up here, including the king. And right now, my net of the net spell is now off cooldown, so we're going to cast that once more into this dwarven line. And they are just going to sit there as our rifles start to fire into them. Right now, a lot of them are targeting Thorgrim to try and snipe him down. Some are targeting the Longbeards. Our Emperor himself is going out to deal with those organ guns that are now firing into our position. So that's what's going on back there. And I'm not going to charge him. I'm just perfectly content with allowing our rifles to get as much damage in, and then we'll do a charge with the halberdiers. So you can see the health now. Thorgrim is taking some damage along with some Longbeard bodyguards. I'm not sure why this player, they didn't move this unit up. Maybe they just all wanted to charge as one. But there we go, the net spell is down. Another Flaming Skull from Archaon being dropped. And with this focus fire, I'm going to now try and finish off Thorgrim with the magic missile spell again. I'm going to overcast it for maximum damage. It does miscast, so we take a lot of damage here, but it will still go off. And nail that halberdier group right in the back, but it does take out Thorgrim as well. My god, the amount of damage. It just murdered all of these poor soldiers. Probably should have moved our light wizard like right here or something. But anyway, the dwarves are going to be charging in against our halberdier line. We still do have rifleman support, and just in time, Karl Franz has finished off the organ guns, is coming in to support this main infantry engagement. And the Chosen from our ally and Chaos Spawn are marching down the hill as well to engage against the Longbeards. And they are still almost fully intact. The Bretonnians, unfortunately, were not able to deal much damage to the Chosen. Karl Franz is still, I think, almost at max hit points, getting into these Longbeards, helping the men-at-arms, or halberdiers. I'm going to try and get a rifleman around the flanks so they can get more shots into the dwarves. We have another spell from Archeon going down here, the Rain of Fire spell, I believe. A little friendly fire, but that's okay. And you can see the Chaos Knights came off the hill to get into these 3 corridor groups, and them and the Warhounds alone are taking them out currently, which was a really good move because they were starting to get some damage in on our halberdiers. But they were all taken out by the charge of these 2 mounted units, and that is going to shatter the rest of their army. They still did have some Troll Drake hammer torpedoes, they still did have some Longbeards, but without Thorgrim or the King, or most of the forces wiped at this point, they are going to lose. So good game to my opponents and my ally. Let's take a look at the kill count. It's going to be kind of low because of the lower units in this one. Let's see. Karl Franz still got 47 kills because fully kitted out, or kitted out. Yeah, fully kitted out. He is amazing. Even without a lot of his abilities, he's amazing, but we'll take a look at that later. Let's see, the cannons did okay. I think the handgunners did okay. The ones that engaged in melee for her, the halberdiers, did okay. For our ally here, Archeon, 42 kills, which is so huge. Exalted got 14. Chaos Chosen did so well. The Chaos Knights just did amazing. They just crushed all their targets. Overall, really good from everybody. The halberdiers didn't really get much action, which is why they have low kills. For our Dwarven enemy here, we have 0 kills, unfortunately. Oh, they had a Master Engineer? I didn't even notice. My bad. I didn't point that out. But anyway, we got 0 kills on Thorgrim. The Longbeards, for the most part, unfortunately got caught in that net, and then they got kind of crushed. These Longbeards are great weapons and managed to get some kills against our halberdiers. The Corridors got a couple kills before they were run down by the Chaos Knights. The Gyrocopter got 12 kills as well, and the Organ Guns got a solid amount of kills on our halberdiers. And even the Trollhammers got a couple kills too. I'm not sure who they were firing at though. And for the Bretonnia player, the King, 6 kills because he got surrounded and killed. The Knights of Rome couldn't do too much. The Spearmen got totally outclassed just by the Chosen and the Chaos Spawn. When they were hit with that net, they couldn't move or do anything really. The Pegasus Knights, kind of the same thing. They got shut down by the net and rifles and Chosen and just a whole bunch of nasty tools that are good against Pegasus Knights. And the Field Trebuchets, I think they got a decent amount of kills. I don't know. The Field Trebuchets, I think, are one of the weaker siege engines in the game. Let's take a look at Karl Franz, because I don't even bring Karl Franz often at all. Just because I see him a lot in multiplayer. Like, everyone brings Karl. So I'm like, Alright, so what I had on him is we took off the Foe Seeker, and I believe I took off Deadly Onslaught. But then I gave him Gall Miraz, which is a self-buff for armor and weapon damage. So you can see that is a lot. And then this kind of does a similar thing, but also gives him more splash damage for 21 seconds. So what I did when I charged those Pegasus Knights, I procced this, and then to help the army below me, I procced Stand Your Ground. I don't think I did hold the line though, because there wasn't much reason to, because everyone was already charged at that point. But I procced the 2 self buffs on him, which he already does so much damage as it is, especially mounted on his Griffin, which, there we go. That now shows what that is. So you can see 24-32, but he is just so good. He's so good. You know? Anyway, but I just wanted to show off the 2 abilities that he's got because this is the first time that I've used them. They are insanely strong self-buffs, and they last for kind of a long time, I think. But they do have a long cooldown, so I guess that's the trade-off. 135 seconds is a long time in Total War fights. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the battle, everybody. I enjoy the Pike and Shot formation. I think it's just kind of cool. It's one of the only times I ever use handgunners, because I usually just prefer crossbows. But anyway, again, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Have a good day.